Slightly random video today, but I'm just going to show you a couple of ways to get the pelvis moving using a 1990 wall. Now, I use trainers for this just because I find it easier to make the connection with the wall that I need with the footwear on, but you can do it with a barefoot. Okay. So, we're going to start off, we're going to be lying on the side. Now, in this side lying position, we're going to try and get the spine as long as we can. Okay, we've got the feet flat against the walls, the ankles at 90 degrees, the knees at 90 degrees, and the hips at 90 degrees. Okay, so nice and long. Now, often what happens when people come into side lying is they drop down everything into the mat here. And what I want you to think about is staying long and keeping a little ant hole underneath between your ribs and your pelvis here. Okay, sometimes it can help to just hold that pelvis slightly further away. Okay, in this position, we're going to place the ball between the knees. And we're just going to start off by seeing whether, keeping both feet against the wall, we can roll forward and back with that top leg. Okay? So everything sort of, we have the movement is all coming from the pelvis. We should be sort of like rolling back and forward with the whole body moving as one. Keep the feet against the wall. We draw the leg back and then we push the leg forward, nice and smooth. Imagine drawing the leg bone back into the hip. In fact, it might help to have a little arm here if you feel like you're bringing them around and then coming forward. Okay, so this is the first helicopter. The first set we're going to be looking at, the top wall. Okay, now in this position, we're going to push the foot into the wall. Okay, and then we're going to draw this leg bone back into this hip. Okay, so everything from my waist up is staying long, but this leg bone is pulling back into the pelvis. I'm keeping a little mouse hole here. Take that foot slightly further back into here, and then I'm going to squeeze the ball down. Okay, and then I can feel my groin starting to work. Okay, I'm then going to squeeze it a tiny inch more, much so I can eke out of it. So I'm going to squeeze down into that ball, staying nice and long, keeping that little mouse hole, and one more of those, drawing back, making sure the hip isn't hiking, and then I'm going to squeeze down into that ball. Okay, and then I'm going to release. As I release, it's almost like that sort of the leg like releases. Okay, so it can feel like a catapult drawing it back, and then when it gets to the end of its range, it then springs forward. Okay, so we'll do another set of those. So feet against the wall and pressure on both feet. Okay, and then we're gonna keep that hip nice, and so actually just think about that mouse hole underneath between your ribs and pelvis, and then we're going to start drawing that leg bone back into the hip. Okay, from there we're going to squeeze the ball. Take a nice, even take an inhale here, exhale there. Then we're going to draw it back again. Take it on an inhale, pulling it back, 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 back. Make sure the hip, you've still got that little mouse hole. Then we're going to exhale down and push that ball into the leg. And then we're going to draw it back again one more time. Even if you could just eke a millimetre out of it. And then we're going to squeeze down with that ball into an exhale. Okay, we're going to repeat the same on the other side. I'm afraid I'm going to have to help my back to you, but same thing again, okay? So feet come against the wall, place the ball between the knees, make sure the ankles are at 90 degrees, the knees are at 90 degrees, and the pelvis is at 90 degrees. The arms nice and long, we've got that little ant's hole through the back, and we're going to reach that knee forward. Okay, so and then we're going to start coming back. So reaching back. Now here you can see my hip hikes on the side, I have a very high piece hip. And then we're going to reach, so then we're going to pull that back, keeping that mouse hole. When I feel like I'm at my end range, I'm going to give it a quick squeeze. Okay, then I'm just going to see if I can pull any more out of that. Staying nice and long in the spine, nice and tall. And then I'm going to squeeze down again into that ball. You can add an exhale there. And then last one here. Pulling, 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 pulling. Make sure your long spine, you're not opening up in the chest. It's all coming from the pelvis. And then we're going to squeeze down with the ball. And then release again. Okay, one more set on that side. So we're going to start by drawing back. Find that little mouse hole along and make sure that you're feeling tall. You might even need to tuck the pelvis under slightly, and then we're going to pull back. Okay, we're going to give the ball a quick squeeze. Then we're going to release that, and then we're going to see if we can squeeze a bit more out of it. Then we're going to press down, taking that exhale. And then we're going to pull back again on an inhale. I can get about 1 millimetre out of that. And then I'm going to squeeze down and release. Okay, next up we're going to come into the opposite. So that's helping us get our groin working. Now we're going to get our glute max working. So for this bit, you're going to need a band. And we're just going to place it around the legs here. Okay, so actually you can place it above the knees. So coming back into this sideline position here. Okay, well this time what we're going to be doing is instead of pulling the leg back, we're actually going to be pushing the knee forward, reaching that knee forward. Okay, so we stay nice and long, find that little mouse hole again, so you have a nice long spine, and then we're going to reach that knee forward. It can be helpful to put a roller or something in front of that so you keep reaching forward for that roller. I forgot you actually need to lift this foot up the wall. So starting again, lift the foot up the wall, and then we're going to push that knee forward. Okay, already I can start to feel the big glute max starting to work. Okay, from here, we're just going to keep lifting up, keeping the foot on the wall, but keep lifting that knee up and driving it forward. Don't let the back arch, just keep lifting and keep pushing into the wall with the whole foot. Okay, and then we're just going to hold here for 10 seconds. So lifting, lifting, lifting for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, keep lifting, keep coming forward, 2, 1. And before you drop, we're then just going to pulse it up and down. 1, 2, 3, keep the knee forward, 4, keep the foot against the wall, 5, 6, make sure you're tucking, not tilting the pelvis out, 7, 8, 9, and then last one here, and 10. Okay, coming round onto the other side. So same thing again, nice and long spine. Feet come against the wall. Long spine, little mouse hole. Okay, and then we take the feet wide, and then we're going to push the knee forward. From here, we're going to lift that knee up. Make sure the pelvis is turned under and isn't arching back like I was just doing. So reaching there, pressing that foot hard into the wall, and we're going to hold it here. Okay, we're going to hold for another 10, 9, keep that knee coming forward, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're just going to go into those pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, keep reaching forward with that knee, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to do is going to take the band off. We're going to get this ball. I'm going to put the knees, the wall of feet against the wall here. Okay, so same thing again, we've got 90 at the feet, 90 at the knees, 90 at the hips. And all we're going to do is push the feet into the wall and pull them down. From here, we're just going to do that same thing we've just done. We're going to pull one leg back into the groin, and then we're going to switch over and pull that leg back into the groin. Now make sure you're not hiking on each side, so you're really pulling the leg bone back, keeping good contact with the ball. Keep coming back. I'm just going to do about 20 of these. Now make sure you're not arching the spine as you come back. I'm just feeling a really nice, smooth rolling of that ball between your thighs. Keep the feet pressed tight into the wall, the heels down especially, often heels come off the wall here. Make sure the knee that is on the longer leg is going up to the sky and isn't falling sideways. It is nice and smooth movements. then just before we go, even though I said I was done after those, we're just going to give one more exercise here. We're going to have a little look at some hip curls. So you're going to need a chair or a stick for this one. Okay, and we're going to place the feet against the wall. And all we're going to do from here is slowly bring one foot round and place it in front of you, and then come round and place it in the back. Now the aim of this is that you stay really nice and tall, and you aren't like bending and folding in the top, but you can transfer the weight across onto the other leg, and then we're going to come round. Now, I think of it as drawing a big circle with the heel and the knee, placing it down, and then back over we come, and round we come. And then we're going to come back over, and place it down, nice and tall. Imagine you've got a really long spine, up, 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 up. And then we're just going to do 2 more here. As slow as you can, lifting that leg up, placing it down, and then coming round. Sometimes this can be a bit sore on the knee. If it is, you can use like a, fold the mat up or roll it round. Okay, and then we're going to come round onto the other side, bringing that hip round. 1. And 2, whoops. Make sure you stay really nice and tall. Leave this knee. There we go, that's better. 1. So staying really nice and tall, really nice and relaxed. And then lifting up. I'm just going to do one more just here. And that's just a nice little bit of hip movement for you to try.